Now, the Spaza Shop registration process has been extended until the 28th of February next year. And this announcement was made yesterday by the Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Velenkosini Hlabisa. Last month, President Cyril Ramaphosa directed that all Spaza shops must be registered within their respective municipalities within 21 days. Now, that deadline was on Tuesday, but many shop owners called for an extension. For more on the latest developments in this matter, we're joined virtually now by Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa. Minister, thanks for your time. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Sakina, and the viewers of Morning Live SABC.
So, Minister, yesterday there was the announcement of the extension to the deadline for Spaza shop owners to register their businesses. But it is perhaps worth just taking a few steps back to remind ourselves what necessitated that step of the Spaza shops to be registered.
Sakina and the people of South Africa will remember that almost a month and a half later from now, we had a crisis of foodborne illnesses which took lives of our children throughout South Africa, but especially in Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal, Free State, Limpopo, and with some few other provinces. This was reaching a stage of a crisis. The cabinet, led by the president, made a decision, and the president addressed the nation, and these foodborne illnesses were aligned to be originating from the Spaza shops and other food handling outlets. The president therefore made an announcement that all informal businesses, which are Spaza shops and food handling outlets, must be registered within 21 days, and these 21 working days expired on 17 December, so that we know who is selling what and where, so that this industry is regulated, because a number of things have been happening in our Spaza shops, finding people sleeping there, bathing there, having some cats sleeping over there, the material in the shelves put together, retex, doom, snacks not properly sealed, which was exposing our people to foodborne illnesses.
So one could argue, Minister, that the Spaza shop owners who were actually transgressing were actually just taking advantage of a situation whereby government was not doing its duty, firstly, in making sure that all these businesses are registered, and secondly, by making sure that the conditions in those Spaza shops were actually optimal. How do you respond to that? And how's the government actually going to make sure that going forward that the businesses adhere and government is able to actually police that situation?
It is true, Sakina, because sometimes you do not have to run away from the truth. The informal business had not received sufficient attention. Now, the informal business, which includes Spaza shops and our people selling in our towns, villages, including the food handling outlets, are going to receive a full attention. Firstly, formalize this economy, make it operate in a healthy environment, because Sakina, the Spaza shops in South Africa, controls or runs billions of rands on a daily basis. When a research is done, the only thing is that this industry is exposed to foreign nationals, sometimes to illicit goods which are sold at a cheaper price, which affected many South Africans who were in the Spaza shop industry. As we know the truth, the Spaza shops in South Africa, most of them are no longer in the hands of the South Africans. This is an opportunity to correct what went wrong and close all the gaps in relation to illicit goods, goods that are sold long expired, which put the lives of our people at risk.
Pardon my skepticism, Minister, but how is government going to ensure that they actually are able to go to all of these tuck shops, the Spaza shops, and make sure that they are adhering to the rules and regulations? Because we know, for one, there isn't sufficient capacity on the part of government to actually police the situation.
Rest assured, Sakina, and the people of South Africa, the government have capacity. The government is going to employ the environmental health practitioners, 520, which is going to be 10 of these additional professionals per each district, as we have 52 districts in South Africa. As I'm speaking to you, Sakina, we have closed 1,041 Spaza shops and food handling outlets which did not comply to health measures. You remember, we managed as South Africa to face COVID-19, where there was a prediction that people would die like flies in Africa. This time around, this challenge, the government is mobilizing all the resources, municipalities, police, Home Affairs, Department of Agriculture. We will be working together to ensure that we turn things around in this economy. There will be no Spaza shop which will not be located where it is, who is operating it, and is it operating within the health guidelines that will be released by the Minister of Health as early as January, because a team of 15 experts in the Department of Health have been appointed to work out a formula and a process to manage the foodborne illnesses as we go forward as a country.
And with regard to those 520 people that will be employed, when will that happen, or has it already happened?
The process is going to unfold fully in January, but the process is already off the ground, because these are professionals who are in our communities, unfortunately, who are currently unemployed, and is not going to be looking people whom we don't know where to find. The main producer, the Mangosuthu University of Technology, has a clear data of how many environmental health practitioners we have, and how can we track them down. In January will be a dedicated month to ensure that we get them in our role, so that they start ensuring that a visit is done in all other businesses that handle food over and above Spaza shop and food handling outlets in the informal economy.
Minister, how many applications have been received since the 15th of November?
On the 17th of December, we received a report that 40,915 applications had been received, and 19,386 were the ones that have been approved, and those businesses properly registered. We considered that there were people who were still on the queues. That is why we felt it is necessary the extension should be done. We are hopeful, as we received the positive response, that even those who could not meet the deadline, numbers will change. But the call we are making, people must not wait until 27 February and then start saying they want an extension. They must do it now, every day except public holidays and weekends, so that by the end of January, because Sakina, in January, the Minister of Small Business Development will open the door for the 500 million rand that the government has set aside to support the small businesses in order to make the infrastructure be appropriate to meet health requirements. And if your business is not registered and you have not been verified to a licensed position, you won't be able to access the $500 million that is meant for the people of South Africa to once again reclaim the township, rural and village economy.
Minister, you know, while the deadline has been extended, we remind ourselves once again that children have died. So what measures have been taken to ensure that these Spaza shops continue to comply with health and safety and other regulations?
Multidisciplinary ministerial team is already, as I'm speaking, having a plan in place about readiness when schools open next year. All the Spaza shops around schools will be our target in terms of compliance, in terms of registration, and any Spaza shop that will be found not compliant on health requirements will be automatically shut down, as we have done over 1,041 Spaza shops and food outlets. By the time schools open, we will have ensured that all the manpower is available to ensure that we do not experience the same. As I said, the team of experts has been appointed and are already working to ensure that how do we mitigate going forward, never to experience a similar challenge as we had a month and a half ago.
Just on a point of clarity there, Minister, how many shops did you say have been shut down for non-compliance with regulations so far?
It's 1,041.
1,041. And looking at the minimum standards that need to be adhered to, again, you know, are we able to say with any sort of confidence that government has a handle on the situation and that there is sufficient capacity to go out and make sure that the shops that are currently operational are compliant to the minimum standards?
Really, Sakina and the people of South Africa, I can confirm the government is ready and have the capacity and have made resources available. Half a billion rand is available to assist our people. We are going to be on top of the situation so that we don't experience what we experienced in the past, and people of South Africa can have confidence in their government, because the truth and the other evidence, as Sakina, since the president made this clarion call, we have seen this number of our children almost coming to an end, dying out of the food poisoning illnesses. And we are going to ensure that a clean environment. In January, Sakina, we will launch a massive cleaning campaign to be activated in every corner of our society, because the dirty environment is the one that makes our people prone to illnesses, especially in the food handling outlets.
And just a quick one, Minister, as we're running out of time, with regard to the poisonous substance that had been isolated, if I understand correctly, Minister Motsoaledi, the Minister of Health, was saying that the substance that they had found was actually found to not be one that is produced in South Africa. Can you just give us a little bit of clarity on that, you know, very succinctly?
Proper information will be released. The Minister of Agriculture, Minister Steenhuisen, is the one who is dealing with the investigation in relation to the poisonous substance as well as its origin. But there is a preliminary information that the kind of substance is not the one that is produced within South Africa. Now, a further investigation is being done as to what is the source of that poisonous substance. That is why there is high vigilance in the ports of entry in South Africa. As you saw that in Durban, the measures are at a high level. The intelligence is on the ground to trace the origin. Once Minister Steenhuisen, the Minister of Agriculture, has finalized the investigation, a proper report will be conveyed to the nation.
Well, Minister, thank you so much for your time. Minister of COGTA Velenkosini Hlabisa speaking to us about the extension of Spaza Shop registration processes until the 28th of February next year and other attendant issues.